Alright, part 2. So, now you're up. You're on the move. You're thinking great thoughts. You're thinking fantastic things. You get to work, and everybody else may not be as peaceful and enlightened as you are. Okay? And they may not have taken the time to do this, so they might walk in kind of crabby. Here is another really important thing, and part of the reason why I personally am always cheerful. Nothing anybody does gets me down. I don't take anything personally. I don't take anything personally. If somebody comes at me and they're a jerk, or they're negative, we'll say, the first thing that goes to my mind is, that person must be having a bad day. That's the first thing I think. The second thing I think is, maybe this person is just a jerk. Or the third thing I might think, usually around the fourth thing for me, is, well, maybe they're racist. I don't really play the race card too often. You get a pretty big leeway with me before I play that card. But hey, comes up. It's the world we live in. Okay? So, and I guess there's also the more enlightened approach of asking yourself, what is it in them that's triggering something in you? Remember, we talked about this. Nothing can ever really bother you about someone else that doesn't bother you about yourself, right? And since not many things bother me about me, I guess that's why not many things about other people bother me. But, you know, you get there. It builds up every time. But it doesn't matter. Say your boss is mean, or your coworkers are mean, or somebody's crabby to you. You don't have to make it mean anything about you. You don't have to make it mean anything. Here's a very powerful question you can always ask yourself. What's so? What's actually happening? What is actually taking place in this situation at this moment? When you can step back from it, right? When you can step back and just not let things trigger you so that you can respond rather than react, right? And then you can start looking at situations from a more disconnected or dispassionate angle, right? And I don't mean check out. Yeah, you want to be present, but you actually want to be more present. Don't stay on the autopilot of your emotions and your own past and your own history and the fact that you sat in traffic so you show up to work crabby. You can kill all that now. You can cut off that whole program now, right? And start consciously choosing how you respond to people, how you respond to what happens, right? And you'll find that it just becomes easier and easier to stay cheerful every day. Now, when you go to lunch, this is a grand time to take a little 5 minutes or so and reconnect with the universe again. Like I talked about in the Earth Day article, if you can eat outside, that's fantastic. If you can't eat outside, no big deal. Somewhere along the way, just take a second to reconnect with your Creator. Blessing your food is fantastic for this. Bless your food before you eat it. Whatever you worship, whatever you believe, even if you just send positive vibes into the food of gratitude and health and thankfulness, it really makes a difference. Are you really charging these items with this energy like we talked about with the rock, or are you just believing that you're charging these energies? Guess what? It doesn't matter. As long as you consciously give thanks for the food that you're about to eat, for the nourishment of your body. You know, for my Christian brothers and sisters, you probably know the follow-up is for Christ's sake, amen. But if you're not a Christian, you're probably not going to say that. So, you're going to take a tiny little meditation in the middle of lunch. You're going to think again about the law of attraction, about those fantastic things that you're attracting, about all the things that make you happy, all the things that make you grateful. Now again, we've logged like 15 minutes so far. And if you can't take 15 minutes out of your day to make your own life awesome and attract the things that you want, then maybe you don't want them as bad as you think. Okay? So, you're going to take a little minute just to be thankful, bless the food, see everything happening, reconnect with everything that makes you happy, right? And then you go back to work and you finish your day. Now the same thing when you come home. When you're driving home, you know you're going to have a fantastic day with your family. You're going to have a great time with your friends. You're going to have an easy way home. Remember, you're just going to project and assume and believe that everything is going to be awesome. It's that same divine paranoia that we've talked about. The belief that everything in the universe is on your side and working for your greater good. Okay? Because here's the thing. Is that the truth? Whatever, it's the truth if you make it the truth. Because pessimism and paranoia and fear aren't the truth either. Okay? Remember, fear only lives in the future. You can only be afraid of something that has not happened yet. So if you're choosing to attach a fear-based negative meaning to the unknown, you can consciously choose to attach an excited, awesome anticipation meaning to the future. You understand? Because that's all it is. It's all in the meaning that you choose to apply. Now, in an absolute perfect world, you are like a Zen monk and you are totally impartial to everything and things just are. And you see through this ultra, crystalline clarity. And that's fine. And by the way, if you think you're already like that, if you think I already see things like they are, you probably are actually a pessimist. Because unless you see things as they are and you think they're just awesome, you don't really see things as they are. If you still I know so many pessimists that are like that. They're all like, I'm not a pessimist, I'm a realist. You're not a realist. If you were a realist, you would at least think something good is equally as likely as something bad. If you think more bad things happen than good things, then you are a pessimist, okay? So give it up, because what's the payoff? What's the payoff? Here's the thing. If you think it's somehow more enlightened to be a cynic, why do you think it would be better or somehow smarter to walk around bumming yourself out all the time, which is what cynics do, okay? Use the infinite resources of your mind. Use the infinite resources of your own outlook and your own conscious choice to take control of this supercomputer and this vessel that you're riding around in to direct it in happy and positive ways. Because that's really all it is a choice to be happy, right? Because the problem is, otherwise you set yourself up where you will always lose. If you're not careful, it will never be enough. It will never be enough. And I gotta say, I caught myself doing something similar. I was talking to some of my brothers and sisters on Facebook, on my fan page. I do have a fan page. Check it out. Or send me a friend request. You can do that too. And I was saying, it was kind of disturbing me that I wasn't really getting the response that I wanted with some of my articles and my videos, and I wasn't reaching people like I wanted. But as I looked at it, it's growing all the time. It's growing every day. I get more readers, I get more fans, I get more friends, my work reaches out further. More is happening all the time. Somewhere along the way, I had applied a meaning to it that it was not enough. Right? Even me, even the coach, even the one who's writing these articles and videos, it still sneaks up on me too. But when I saw it, I changed it. And in that exact moment, I was free. Okay? Things are working out perfectly. Things are working out fantastically. Everything's moving in the right direction. Although, of course, you can always help by sharing this video or this article with somebody else. Or becoming a fan or a friend. Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, YouTube. I'm everywhere. B. Dave Walters. But the point is, you understand what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm getting at here? It's just a new habit that you have to cultivate. And it may not happen instantly, and you might backpedal, and you're still going to have good days and bad days, right? But instead of bouncing between a 3 and a 6 on a scale of 10, like you are right now, you can become like I am and bounce between an 8 and a 10 or an 8 and a 12, okay? Instead of always kind of being down here between depressed and okay, you can be up here between awesome and super awesome. Those are the days you have, okay? Because that's all you have to do once you start looking at the fact that life is great. Life is great. Everything about life is great. You're great, okay? Yeah, some painful things happen from time to time, but it lets you know you're alive. Right? Choose to focus on what is working. Choose to focus on what you want. Choose to focus on what makes you happy and follow your bliss. Make that your number one priority. Follow your bliss. Okay? And I left out something important that we talked about in the Dealing with Negative People episode. Make everybody else feel good about them too. Okay? But this will naturally happen. As you start to have a more positive expectation for your day and for your life and about yourself, you'll naturally become infectious. And some people, don't be surprised if some people stop hanging out with you. Don't be surprised if some people actually kind of withdraw from you. Because some people are used to you signing off on their BS. And you guys can just kind of mope and whine and be depressed together. Now, I'm not saying don't listen to their problems. You know I listen to a lot of problems every day. But whenever you talk to me, we're not just going to talk about how everything sucks so bad. We're going to talk about a solution. We always will. I was just explaining this to somebody today. It's like, I want to be babied. I'm like, you come to the wrong place. I don't baby. I don't. I listen, but then I'm going to tell you to pick yourself up. Let's figure something out. Let's move on, okay? Now, I didn't reset my stopwatch, so I think I'm out of time. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off here. But remember, the night before, give thanks. Plan the next day. The morning of, remember your dreams. Give thanks. Plan the day. That day, go through it, bless your food, say your prayers, make everybody else feel great about themselves, and your day will be fantastic. You're great. I love you. Okay, bye-bye.